Welcome to another RMSO Roundtable Drive. We got Derek, Jenny, and this is Kelly. We're on the border of Idaho and Montana. We're on the North Fork River. We're actually out here to visit the famous deadly Bauman Bigfoot location. But while we're out here, we're going to take you guys down on the North Fork River. And we're going to take it out to the edge of the river of no return. There's 3 Bigfoot sighting reports that I know of just on this stretch that we're on right now. One of them's right near Panther Creek. And then up Panther Creek, back in there, all the way back to Challis, there's several Bigfoot sightings. But we thought we would show you guys around, let you guys see what a Bigfoot sighting hotspot looks like. The first time Jenny and I went up Panther Creek, it was actually at night. We showed up and set up camp, and of course Jenny and I were going to be here for about a week, but we were so excited to be here that we wanted to go find Panther Creek even though it was dark. So we drove up Panther Creek in the dark, and the most freakiest thing happened. A gang of raccoons come down out of the woods and surrounded our car, running on both sides of the car, in front of the car, and just, it was kind of weird. I was glad I wasn't out hiking on foot with a gang of raccoons acting like that. I've never experienced anything like that with raccoons. As a matter of fact, I've only seen one raccoon at a time, unless it was a mom with a bunch of babies. But
really?
Yeah, these were all adult-sized raccoons, and it was kind of cool.
Business.
Family of them.
Look at them all! Oh my god!
It was bizarre.
It was really weird.
I mean, it was a pack of raccoons.
Wasn't the Bigfoot we were looking for on Panther Creek, but still was something cool that happened to us.
And it was like
I think they call a pack of raccoons a gang, don't they?
I don't know.
I caught a bunch of raccoons.
I don't think I've ever seen rhinos.
Yeah, it is definitely full. Overflowing full.
Last time we was up here, there was a truck in the river. Kind of wonder if it's still there.
Oh, like stop sign. Who's putting a stop sign out in the middle of nowhere?
Matter of fact, that turn up there on the top of the mountain back there, was a Bigfoot sighting by some campers up there, and I think it was back in 2012, 2013. The guy that had his Bigfoot sighting up there sent us photographs of the footprints. If I can find those, that was way back when I wasn't as organized as I am now, and so hopefully I can find those. I'll put those in this video at the end if I
Can look at him.
find them. But yeah, he was back in there. First time Jenny and I tried getting back to his Bigfoot sighting, my transmission kept overheating, so we didn't make it that first year. Yeah, very steep, winding dirt road back in there. Yeah. You get back in there on the top and you're like, yeah, I can see Bigfoot wanting to be here. All 3 of the Bigfoot sightings on this length of road are all road cross Bigfoot sightings, and all 3 of them happened at night. including the one by Panther Creek. Now, if you pull up off on Panther Creek and go back far enough, it'll take you right back close to the Challis area where that deer hunter observed a Bigfoot from his deer hunting tree stand. No, excuse me. He was a bear hunter. Old James. I'll leave a link to his interview down in the description of this video.
You ever debated whether or not it's worthy to go to Idaho for any reason? You're looking at a good reason right here, right now.
Pretty good.
There's a lot of outfitters that will take you river rafting or kayaking on this river.
There's also speedboats and fishing guides back in here.
And random homesteads out of the blue.
It's actually, I think, is a ranger station.
Yeah. Forest Service station.
They pack these places in when they have fire season out here. Jenny and I were out here during fire season one year where they had 15 helicopters shuttling firefighters in and out of the fires up here one year that we were here.
They had a big, huge base camp with mess tents and everything.
Yeah, it looked like something out of MASH, you know? A tent city. Yeah. If I can find those photographs, I'll put them at the end of this when they were fighting those fires back in here. It was crazy. Jenny and I got pretty close to one of the major fires, a 100,000 acre fire when we went down in Custard down south of Challis. And that's one of the fires that they were shuttling them in and out of to fight. And it looked like a volcano going off, and it felt like an end of the world thing. It was raining soot, ash, and little burnt twigs.
On fire.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. I can't believe that they let us into that
I can't
area with all that going on.
Yeah, I thought it was going to burn. I thought it was going to ruin everybody's paint jobs on their car. So it was burning twigs falling everywhere.
Yeah, we've been in this area searching for Bigfoot in many different weird conditions, and you know, when they had all the fires going on, we didn't cancel our trip because you always hear about people having Bigfoot sightings on the edges of the fire, you know, the fire pushing the animals around and stuff. So we stuck with our plans and come out and still did our Bigfoot expedition, hoping that may be the key that changes things up and gets us our footage of Bigfoot.
Creepy girl.
Yep.
A lot of years we see more bighorn sheep than we do elk or deer out here.
Well, there was one. Surprised he didn't run off because that other truck had just went through here.
I know.
He might have waited and came down after that had passed, though, I guess.
We've had them run right alongside of our vehicles when we've been back here. Big old rams and stuff.
I keep thinking, I mean, this is such a good area for bear, and everybody, I swear, except for me, has seen a bear here. I have not seen one yet.
You saw one just south of Salmon last year with me.
I said on the ear. North
Oh.
Fork, I have never seen a bear.
Right.
Hell, I'm just going to have to say it. The majority of people have not seen a bear in the wild. So, you know, consider yourself lucky that you've seen so many in the wild.
I prefer to see them from the safety of my vehicle. However, I've I've saw 2 black bears while I've been out on foot. And Jenny has saw 3. Yeah, it may have been a grizzly. I didn't get to see it, but what she was describing sounds like it may have been a grizzly. Caught a lot of bear on game cameras that we've set up in Bigfoot sighting spots too. Jenny's way in the back seat, so I apologize if you can't hear her as well. Derek's truck is just huge, so she's way back there.
It is a pretty good distance.
Yes, it is. Pretty neat homesteads up here next to the North Fork Salmon River.
Yeah.
Notice a few of them are for sale. So if you guys want property with bigs in the backyard, Mark Crooks, this is.
You call him out.
Well, he's been telling me to help him find some property with Bigfoot in the backyard. So
well, right here, you're looking at it.
North Fork Salmon River's got some great property in.
In a beautiful location.
And we still haven't hit dirt road yet. This will turn to dirt road, but it's still paved, so it's pretty nice.
Big rocks.
Damn.
Big rocks. I'm just hoping I don't miss one of them big rocks, or
Yeah.
maybe I ought to say it a different way.
I'm hoping
I
you
don't
miss 'em.
hit one of them big rocks. Missing as in not seeing it in time to get out of it.
Any of you that are into history, Lewis and Clark, they said that this stretch of the salmon, this North Fork meets up with the actual salmon in the main valley. They said it was like the thickest part of the United States that they traveled through with grizzlies.
That is where the staging was for the fire department.
Oh, what
Yeah.
we just passed right there?
Off to the left is where all the firefighters were all staged up and getting shuttled in and out with helicopters. It was
That's
crazy.
a cool little cabin.
Yeah.
Is that where the truck was in the...
No.
Yeah, the river ate away the embankment, and the truck was in the river. It wasn't an accident. Someone didn't accidentally drive it in there. You could tell that it eroded the shore away and swallowed up someone's pickup truck.
I don't know how they got the truck over there in the first place. They must have made a
This
whole
one's
area.
actually built into the side of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these places across the river, there's no bridge. You have to
Cable across.
yeah, you have to cable your stuff across. So when you see people with trucks over there, like, how did that truck over there?
Well, like I said, the only way to get it in is to ferry it in.
Yeah.
They had to have paid something and got it across, or paid something to somebody that. No, they would have had to pay something. There's no.
Bring it in and chop up.
Yeah, you can rent a chopper.
I just wanted to make it across the river.
Wow, this place is just crazy, wild, beautiful. I don't remember this much pavement.
It's a relatively narrow road too, actually. Each lane is literally about the width of your truck, and that's it. There's no like buffer at all.
Nope.
and hands.
Thanks for the warning.
You know, I just thought, save
Oh.
somebody from having to read the sign.
I don't think I've ever seen the river this swollen. There's a lot of Indian hieroglyphs on some of the canyon walls back in here.
What's the difference between a petroglyph and a hieroglyph?
A petroglyph is carved into the rock. A hieroglyph is painted onto the rock.
And they're hieroglyphs.
And I don't know, someone listening may argue that with me, but that's my personal understanding of the difference.
That is pretty pictures.
Yeah.
I didn't understand you there for a minute. I'm like,
Gosh, some of the parts, the rocks just literally hang out over the
Yep.
top of the road.
Yep.
Makes me nervous in these wet conditions. Especially when you see a rock slide right here coming out onto the road.
any given time could happen. There's no end break. Yeah, the river's usually a pretty blue-green color. You see, it's just full of mud.
It is full of mud.
Brody and I was out hiking one time and some bighorn sheep up above us on the mountain were kicking rocks down onto us. I mean, not on purpose. At least I don't think, but yeah, they kicked some bowling ball sized boulders down towards us. I don't know, they may know what they're doing. Maybe it's one of their techniques to escape mountain lions.
Now,
Kick a couple of boulders down on them.
there's a game show right across the road.
Sure is.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty heavily used.
Yeah, it's probably goats, sheep, whatever. What's the difference? I don't know the difference.
Bighorn sheep are part of the sheep family.
What was on the side of the road? A goat or sheep?
8 miles. That was a goat.
Okay.
Lots of old homesteads back here. Most of them are miners. This was a very popular
See
mining
the
place.
mining station right there to your left, Derek?
Yeah.
Kind of cool, huh?
That's way cool. I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't point out and say something. Well, I've been watching the road, I guess.
Yeah. There's usually sand bars on the side of the river. Real sand. Nice, soft. It's not there right now.
Yeah, so nice to kick back on. If the river has swallowed up all the sandbars. Another old abandoned homestead right there. I love just old ghost buildings.
Just better slow down. Get where people are. It's 20 miles an hour. We'll go less than that.
There's a mine right there. Right on the side of that.
Gold mine tours. Apparently there's a tour.
Oh, there's right
a
there.
mine
Oh, there's
right
more
there.
mine shafts up there on the mountain.
Oh, you saw the one that was right here on the ground,
Yep,
right?
I did. Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Yeah, no.
No thanks.
The guy that used to own 100-acre woodland ranch, right across the road from his property is an old mine shaft, a safe one, so to speak. And you know, you meet him and he's always check out the mine, you know. So a lot of people go back there and check it out. And these people went back in there one day, and one of them's back in there. I don't think we're alone, and this and that. They got chased out by a black bear.
Yeah, there's black bears.
So now he warns you when you go in, keep your eye out for bears.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go in the bear cave thing.
Uh-huh.
River is raging.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be rafting it this weekend.
That's on somebody's mailbox. But that'd be a cool little canyon to drive up. Depends on how far it goes, but
I don't know if we've been up that far,
I
right?
don't know. But
It just amazes me that the salmon will swim this far up into Idaho to spawn from the ocean. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's a long freaking drive. And they swim up this against the current. If you've had a Bigfoot sighting in this part of Idaho or in Montana or anywhere, please send us your Bigfoot sighting report. That's what keeps us motivated, is going out to the locations that people have saw Bigfoot to take a look around. You can send that to kcshaw40@gmail.com, or you can tell us in the comments of this video. But for those of you that want to remain anonymous, you can email to us. A lot of people send their Bigfoot sightings to www.rmso.net. When you send them in that way, Derek is the one that receives those. And make sure you give us the right email address. Somebody sent us one not too long ago that was a really interesting one. And if you're watching this,
so what, last week?
Yeah,
Middle of May it was sent.
It was a little while ago. If you didn't get a response from us, we tried. The email that you put in, something was wrong with it.
Or you can just leave it about email and keep your anonymity.
Uh-huh. I just know it was real interesting, and we had some questions. We're always trying to drag more details out of a sighting report. Yeah, a lot of people, when they send us their Bigfoot sighting, they're like, gosh, you guys You know, you guys responded within a couple of days or a couple of weeks. I sent mine to this place or that place and nobody ever responded. Yeah, it may take us a week or two sometimes, but we always try to respond to every one of them, and hopefully nothing's fallen through the cracks, but you'll hear back from us because we take Bigfooting seriously and we take your report seriously. Your reports lead us to places like this.
I think it would be super fun to raft this river. I mean, it looks bad now, Derek, but normally it's calm and green and pretty.
I think to raft this, you need to come back in July or August. I think the hottest part of July would be perfect to come and raft or kayak this. Yeah, a lot of the parts of this river is glassy that time of year.
Yeah, it's not.
All the runoff, massive runoff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they got outfitters. A lot of these guys are trained in Swift River rescue. You go far enough back on Panther Creek and there's a ghost town back there near Yellow Jacket Reservoir, and I think that you call it the Yellow Jacket Ghost Town. Looks like an old mining ghost town back there. I've seen photos of it, and Jenny and I have been on the edge of the reservoir at night. Haven't seen the ghost town yet. Kind of on our bucket list because there isn't Bigfoot sighting reports there, but people have reported weird vocalizations back there that some think may be Bigfoot. So, and of course, that Yellow Jacket area is surrounded by Bigfoot sighting reports. So very well, maybe people back in that, when they're visiting that ghost town, maybe they are hearing Bigfoot vocalizations. That Panther Creek, when you drive back that canyon along that river, it skirts the river of no return wilderness almost the whole time.
It's the old mine entrance.
No, that's where Indian hieroglyphs.
Oh.
Yep. Wall paintings.
Not much of it left, is there?
They've faded.
Yeah, faded a lot.
Well, they may be older than Sacagawea. This is Sacagawea country, by the way.
It sure is.
We're not too far from Big Hole Battleground. The Nez Perce.
Nez Perce.
The Nini Poo is what they originally called themselves, yeah. And then they named them Nez Perce because they had pierced noses. Was it Sacagawea that helped Lewis and Clark find their way through here?
Yeah.
See, we go Bigfoot and we learn the history of the places we visit. That Lewis and Clark was flipping everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You can't travel anywhere in the West without coming across somewhere that they had already blazed the trail. That would have been exciting, except for damn near everything wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
I know a lot of those guys got messed up by grizzly bears and black bears. One of them, Lewis or Clark, one of them got their ear ripped off by a grizzly, from what I understand. Can't remember which one it was. I'm sorry, you're a historian, and I can't remember who had to have their ear sewed back on.
So they did get it sewed back?
Yeah, from what I understand, if
Who back then would have been able to sew on an ear?
I don't know.
one of your good buddies and you're like, please, dude, I don't want to lose my ear. Put that back on, we'll see what happens.
You're talking about bone needles and the works, you know, and probably tendons and stuff.
Or fishing line or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just talking. That's just.
Yeah, tough buggers.
Yeah, no. Here, have a few swigs of this.
Yeah.
Let it numb you up. You might bleed to death because of it, but you won't feel it.
I don't think I've ever been that drunk.
No. And nowadays they literally can grow your own dang ear back in your arm.
Yeah, I saw a news story about that.
I mean, that's cool. It's a little bit weird, but that's cool.
They had an ear strapped to the back of a rat. Seen that?
I've seen them do it in their arm, where it actually grows in their arm, and then they'll take it out. And,
Yeah, I was going to say, if they grew my ear back on a rat, I don't think I would want it. Call me weird, but if they grew it inside a rat, I just would like, yeah, I think I'll go without. Then again, I have both my ears at the moment, so tough to make the call unless you're in that situation, right?
play it off well. I'm a Van Gogh lover. Leave me alone.
Hey, you know, if I really like you,
right?
get Meldon here. This is just amazing back here. This is one of my favorite places to search for Bigfoot, by the way. And we're probably only 30, 40 miles, maybe a little bit more, from the famous Bauman story location that Teddy Roosevelt writes about.
A cave just right here.
Yeah, there's all kinds of caves. Yeah, that goes deep back in there. It gets small, but it looks like a person could climb back in there easily. Jenny and I spent about 4 years, once a year and a couple of years coming back here twice a year, searching for the Bauman location. I thought it would be really easy to find. Teddy writes in the story, you know, the directions by certain landmarks and stuff, how to find it. And then, of course, there's been television shows about it, and other people have written about it, and so I thought it'd be pretty easy to, you know, look up, you know, someone else that's been there. You know, when you see a television documentary, you think, oh, they went there and shot it. Well, after a while, started figuring out, no, I don't think anybody's been there since, you know, Bauman.
At least not that it was ever talked about.
Yeah, so we had to figure it out, and it took us about 4 years before we were comfortable with knowing the stretch of canyon that it happened in the Bitterroot Forest.
We are going left, right?
Yeah, this is Panther Creek.
The place is at the next left.
This Panther Creek, you can take it from North Fork salmon, where we're at now, all the way back to Cobalt and Challis. Oh my God!
So this is just a tributary that leads into North Fork.
This is just usually a creek. Look at it. It's like a raging river.
The place that you want is across the river, Kelly. Okay.
It's across. We need to.
Yeah, I just wanted to drive up this just a little ways.
We might go in quite a ways, depending on where we can turn around.
All right.
I mean, this is usually just a little bit.
Yeah, it's raging. Yeah, this is where the raccoons come down off the mountainside and surrounded the car, and that was funny. A whole family of them.
Look at them all! Oh my God!
Okay, so this long stretch right here, it borders the river of no return, and time again, when we're investigating Bigfoot sightings in Idaho, we're a lot of times finding ourselves on the edge of the river of no return wilderness. And really, if a creature wants to stay hidden and be unmolested by mankind, you know,
That's the place.
Yeah, there's just no roads and stuff that go into it that I'm aware of. You've either got to walk in, take a horse, or land somewhere back in there with the helicopter. But all the surrounding forests and stuff, lots of sightings. Yeah, directly across.
Yeah, that's Snow Creek.
Directly across from where we're at, we're on the northeast side of the river of no return, and directly on the southeast side is Deadwood. So that kind of puts in perspective. And Bigfoot sightings happening on both sides. A lot of famous Bigfoot sightings around the Deadwood area. Matter of fact, a guy got a hold of us that's a trapper back near the Deadwood Reservoir. Yeah, you can turn around anywhere you.
No, it's up to you. It depends. Are we going further or what?
It doesn't matter to me. It's your first time here.
It's not raining, so I mean it has been, but it's not bad. If it was a downpour, I don't want to go too far back in here.
Well, a guy that's a fur trapper, he got a hold of us and he found a trackway about 10 miles from Deadwood Reservoir. Trackway of Bigfoot back in there. A couple of years ago. And it was a January, and I'm thinking January. But when you're a fur trapper, it's the wintertime months you want to be getting the furs, because that's when the furs are in the best condition.
Thickest.
Mm-hmm.
Winter coats on. So he's probably out there on the back of the snowmobile somewhere.
And we have found Bigfoot tracks in the wintertime. Back in Sasquatch Canyon of Utah, we've found them in February. So a lot of people have the argument, does Bigfoot hibernate? And because Bigfoot tracks are found in the middle of winter quite often, I don't think they hibernate. They may hunker down through the worst parts of winter, but I don't think they hibernate. There's too many tracks being found, like the 3-mile trackway just across the border in Canada over by the Michigan area.
Michigan or
yeah, over by the Great Lakes area. Yeah.
The guys were on the snowmobiles?
Yeah, and then they documented that 3-mile trackway. That is one of the neatest trackway of Bigfoot. I've learned more about Bigfoot from that 3-mile trackway than any of the information about Bigfoot that goes around, that's been gathered over since the Patty. learned a lot about Bigfoot on that. Just watching that trackway, you could tell that every opportunity that Bigfoot presented itself, it tried to hide its tracks. It would jump up on logs and side shuffle on logs, and you know, it seems almost impossible to hide your tracks in snow, but it was obviously cognizant of hiding them. And then you could tell that it had a snapping fetish. Twigs, branches, everything along that trackway, it was snapping for whatever reason. But it kept going in the thickest stuff, and then you could see where it would, by the tracks, you could see where it would pause at the edge of thickets, and like totally scoping the area out, making sure the coast is clear, and then long, fast strides to get across to the next thicket to hide in. And if there was logs to jump up on, it did it. Just such a neat thing. And so, you know, that's another example of people finding Bigfoot tracks in the middle of winter. I don't think they hibernate as a bear would.
We found, what, 17-inch trackway coming off the top of the ridge above Garbage.
That's right, in the snow.
When we got stuck and couldn't go any further because of the snow,
There was
and
two
it come up off the top.
That was the big set. There was two sets. There was one that was 14 that was kind of hand in
yeah,
hand
yeah,
with
yeah.
that one. So it looked like two individuals.
Did we mention that was just the same hillside that we were actually getting screwed with? Something throwing stuff down into the river, right there at our campsite.
Right at camp. Yeah,
We were right below where those trackway was. God, look how thick, look how much water's coming down this, man. It's just flooded everything.
It's insane. Because Jenny and I have been up here 4 or 5 times, and even this time of year we've been here, and it's just hasn't been nothing like this. I definitely wouldn't want to be tent camping next to this river this time of year with it like this. Yeah, some parts it looks like it's about ready to overflow onto this road that we're on. What I like about Bigfooting this time of year is this is the time of year where people see the Bigfoot down by the creeks and the rivers in the willow areas and stuff. So
Casey's his was up there for graduation. It was
his was on a June 1st, which is tomorrow. Excuse me.
Lost Creek. That was June 6th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was
June 4th or June 6th.
It was the first week of
Either way,
June.
it was the first week of June.
like a year after Casey's sighting.
Yeah.
And that was only 10 miles separated those two sightings. Casey's was in Hardscrabble, and then
Curtis's was in Lost Creek. We flipped a Yui because of some crybaby homeowner. Just kidding.
We could have kept driving another 50 miles. We've actually taken
50?
you. Oh yeah, we've actually taken you guys on a round table drive all the way practically to Challis on this road, and we'll include that in the link of this video. We actually quit filming after midnight, after we left Yellow Jacket. We left Yellow Jacket, was on our way to Cobalt, and then from Cobalt we would have ended up at our camp down in Challis. But yeah, we'll include that so you guys can see this whole stretch we're on. We're going back to the North Fork. We're Bigfooting along the North Fork today. And then tomorrow we'll probably be at the Bauman location. I remember the first time seeing the Bauman thing when I was I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 8 years old, whatever it was, when I was a kid, watching a Bigfoot television documentary, and they reenacted the 2 trappers and stuff being harassed by the Bigfoot, and the one getting killed and everything, and just because one of our presidents was really good friends with Bauman, and he believed him enough to put it in one of the books he wrote, I was just like, that's legit. The president thought it was real. That's legit, you know. But as a kid, that actually part of the documentary scared me, you know. I was like, oh, Bigfoot might kill you. Hey, don't laugh at me, Jenny. I know you used to get scared just watching Patty.
411. Is that what that is?
The 411 books.
Yeah.
Yeah. They write about Bigfoot abductions or insinuate it could be Bigfoot. Some of these missing people. Don't they call it Missing 411? I don't know. I know he's wrote a few books. Pilates? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I can't even say Sasquatch right, so. Or Mugian. I don't even put an L in that, and everybody always accuses me of calling it Mongolian. Yeah, blame it on my Utah redneck upbringing. This is just beautiful. Crazy.
Rugged. Not running up and down these mountains.
Oh, that's the ropes.
No. You're just asking to get yourself jacked up.
So the stretch of the North Fork all the way here to Panther, we passed 3 Bigfoot sighting areas where people saw it crossing the road at night or at dusk. Just a rugged, wild area. Have we ever saw a moose back here? I still don't recall.
I don't think so.
Saw elk, bighorn sheep, a couple of varieties of deer. And then 10 miles south of here, that bear come running out on us, Jenny. That black bear.
Oh, and we can bring up recently in the news that dog, the wolf or whatever the hell it was.
Drayton,
That's
Idaho.
not too far away from here.
No. It's north of here. Yeah, some people call it a dire wolf. It looks like a wolf dog hybrid that a rancher shot, and the Fish and Game or the Department of Natural Resources, they've sent it in to be studied and a DNA test to see exactly what the DNA makeup of that wolf is. It's a chupacabra!
Oh, never a dull moment when you get with me.
No. I know, I was telling Derek earlier, I was like, you're sarcastic about everything. Nothing's getting past his Sarcasm.
Because we live in this world, man. Sarcasm's your body's natural defense to stupidity, okay?
Oh.
No, I'm curious to find out exactly what it is. I'm sure it's some type of hybrid, you know.
No, it's got characteristics of a wolf and characteristics of a dog. But, you know, maybe they'll come back and say, yeah, it's a dire wolf.
It's a miniature dire wolf.
Yep.
It's just a baby.
I'll include a link to the news article in the description of this video so you guys, I mean, we're joking about it, but this is real stuff. This was shot in Drayton, Idaho a couple of weeks ago. At least I believe it was Drayton.
Yeah, it was just in the newspapers on, I don't know, this week is when it hit national news anyway.
All right, we're back out to the North Fork. I hope you guys enjoyed this Bigfoot roundtable drive. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.